Hello, hey, happy Labor Day. It is Monday, September 7th. And do you know what date that is? That means it's World Duchenne Day. Do you know what Duchenne is? So today on Conversations of Support with Laura, we are going to talk about Duchenne Muscular Dystrophy for just a little bit. Those of you who have followed my page or know me personally, or even from Facebook, know that my son, who is 24 now, has Duchenne Muscular Dystrophy. He was diagnosed at age 6, and hey Miss Annie, and we have been traveling this journey along with everyone. There are lots of families out there that surprisingly, you may know a family that has Duchenne Muscular Dystrophy. So if you follow the page Conversations of Support, please go and find the post below this that I have shared some different pictures and things that may help you with understanding what Duchenne is. But it's a progressive muscle weakening disease, and right now there's no cure for it. When our son was diagnosed, we were told that he most likely might not make it to graduate from high school. Thankfully, he has. He is 24. He is still doing pretty well. Let me see if I can get out of the sun there for you, make that a little bit better. But he does use I'm going to have to move where I'm doing my live because some youngins have joined me outside. So, hey, Mr. Larry, how are you? I'm going to go inside for a second here. Y'all going to follow me? Come with me for a minute. Honestly, I don't enjoy talking about Duchenne in front of our son. But that's the topic of the day, so that's what we're going to still talk about, okay? So we're going to come in here. AJ is just getting up. He's in his wheelchair. He's outside enjoying some sunshine right now, so we're going to come in here and chat together inside. So hope everybody is doing well. Hope everybody is able to enjoy some family time. But back to what Duchenne is. AJ is 24, and he only just started having trouble feeding himself back at the beginning of 2020, before everything started. Hey, Miss Ashley, how are you? And I had to move inside because, of course, the boys come outside when I go to start this live. And this topic I don't like to talk about totally in front of AJ. I'm sure I don't know if he can hear me now or not, but anyway, he does not like to be the center of attention. He is not that child who wants to be the poster child for Duchenne. He does not want to prove to the world that he can defy anything just because he has Duchenne. So I try to respect that, and I don't want to make things more difficult for him. But he can't hug me anymore. He hasn't been able to do that for years. I don't even know what that feels like anymore. Does not mean that we don't hug him. Of course, only just family right now, but you know what I mean. So he's 24. He's a man. He doesn't want to be hugged anyway. We did joke he did grow a beard now so that he can look older. But my biggest takeaway from today, from talking about Duchenne, is that life doesn't end when you get a diagnosis. It just means your life is going to be a little bit different. And it just may mean that we have to think about things differently. We have to think about accessibility. We have to figure out, can he go in this store? Can he go in that restaurant? Things like that. Now that when he started using a wheelchair, that was a big change, but we had to think about it. But for a lot of people, school is starting tomorrow, if it has not already started. So when he was first diagnosed in kindergarten, his teachers did a phenomenal job. I'm still friends on Facebook here with his third grade teacher. which is when he needed to start using a wheelchair. And she did such an awesome job. Back in the days when we got to meet in person, right? But she helped teach those kids about how to include a kid like AJ, who can't run, who can't go play tag, who can't go play soccer or football or lacrosse or anything else, or swim or whatever that, most boys would want to do, right? But she taught those kids how to take pride and say, you know what, I want to help push him today when he was in his manual wheelchair. They were all a little disappointed when he got his power wheelchair, because then he could drive himself, but that gave him a little bit of independence. It let him go as fast or slow as he wants to go now, So if you're a teacher and if you are have a child in your class, whether it's in person or virtually, I encourage you to figure out ways to help the other students understand, not to be sympathetic and have pity for that person, who's different, but to empathize with them and go, hey, I know you can't run around the schoolyard or the backyard and play tag. Let's do a video game together. Let's do something different. Let's meet at a restaurant together and go have lunch or dinner, right? And AJ's got a couple of really close friends that have stuck with him through high school, and they're willing that if they go out for a meal, that if he needs help with his drink or his food, they will help him, and he doesn't have to feel awkward or bad about that. So you all, I have such awesome appreciation for teachers that you have not just the task of teaching all the children in your classroom, but if you have a child with an IEP or a 504 plan, or who is slightly different than the other kids, whether it's in the way they learn or the way they speak or the way they walk or don't walk, you have the ability and the opportunity to shape the kids of our future, to help us talk about diversity and inclusion. And it's not, when we say those words, that's not just about race, that's not just about gender or ethnicity, that's about abilities. Let's include all the kids. AJ struggled a lot in school with friendships because he was very shy and quiet. He does not have the outgoing personality that we all know and that I have, that I like to talk to people, he does not. And so that was very hard for him in school. And sometimes that's when your outgoing students, that if you spy them and that person isn't shy about talking to someone, partner them up with the other child in your class that might be a little bit different, have them team up together. Say, hey Julie, hey Patricia and Ashley, thank you guys for joining. And today I'm just talking, I know I haven't been on here in a while. It's been a rough week. We lost my husband's mom earlier a week ago. So we're still dealing with all of that. And, normally I like to go live and talk about things, but today is World Duchenne Day, so I thought I would honor AJ and my son and all the other families out there and talk a little bit about Duchenne. If you have questions, put them in the comments, let me know. Yes, girls can get it, but it's not as common. It's on the X chromosome, so us lovely females, we have 2 X's, so if we happen to be a carrier, we have the possibility of passing that on to our children. And since the guys are made of an XY chromosome, if they get the bad X, then they are the ones who end up physically with Duchenne. Now, in our personal case, I am not a carrier, and it was just a spontaneous mutation that happened at conception. Luck of the draw. God said, hey, I think this family would be awesome to have one of our special needs kids out there. So if you're a special needs mom out there or a dad and who's a caregiver, I give props to you on this Labor Day, because it is labor intensive some days, My husband gets up multiple times at night to turn our son because he can't roll over on his own. And, because he's a guy, he kind of prefers dad for some of that stuff. So, so we help him with everything from showering to toileting to eating, whatever it is. But ultimately, our son has a mind. He doesn't have any learning disabilities, so he is able to contribute and think and speak on his own. And he has lots of opinions. He just saves them all for us. Hi, Shelley. How are you? And yes, we need to remember our guys that have passed and are no longer with us. So it's tough, and that's the thing. None of us knows when our time will come, right? And so for us and our family, I do not stress about the fact that there is most likely going to be a shorter lifespan for our son. Hey, Julie. We just don't focus on that. I can't focus on that because personally, if I only focus on the negative aspects of this journey, then it's going to become an unbearable journey. And I absolutely never will hate the disease simply because I do not want to transfer that feeling of the actual disease onto my son. It does not define my son. It is not solely who he is. He is Andrew James. He is AJ. But we don't have to say he is AJ with Duchenne, Yes, he does have it, and yes, we live it, and we have to deal with it, and it's not hiding my head in the sand either, but it's focusing on the day-to-day and staying present and taking it one day at a time. I lost my mother-in-law earlier this week unexpectedly. And even though she was 82 and had a good life and she went peacefully, which brings comfort to all of us, it was still unexpected. But none of us know how long we're going to live, right? So we don't need to tell our kids that you're not going to live past your 20s or make it to your 20s anymore or anything like that, And thankfully, many are living till their 30s, 40s, and even some awesome guys are living into their 50s who have Duchenne. And we should celebrate that. And for me, we celebrate birthdays simply because we do not know how many we get. And so I want the takeaway from today to know that we need to encourage and support those families that have a special needs child, whether it's Duchenne or not. But today, if you have questions about Duchenne, put them in the comments. I'll answer you. I don't mind talking about it. I don't mind sharing about it. Like right now today, I am fine. I am not going to, at the moment, cry or anything like that. But every once in a while, it's okay if I cry. And it's okay if I'm sad that my son, my one and only son, has this, We have two wonderful daughters who love their brother, who are the best sisters in supporting him, encouraging him, defending him, and helping him. So, this is a family thing that we're all going through. It's a family journey. And, but think about it. When you see, someone struggling to walk, be thankful that they can walk at all. Be thankful and be supportive. Help them, if they want the help. Let them know you're there, but give them the independence to try it on their own. And if they're not able to walk anymore, don't assume that they can't do something. Ask them, invite them out, think of the ways that you can adapt to help them. I know one of AJ's friends, she always carries straws with her if they're out, just in case the restaurant doesn't have any anymore, we do too, but I love the fact that she thought of that she thought, well, I'm going to make sure I have straws. That's an easy thing for her to do. So, so I want to give a shout out to all those people out there who work daily with our special needs families. And yes, they're Shelly. AJ has gotten more vocal as he's gotten older, but again, he's spending so much time with just my husband and I. He's comfortable talking with us. He is doing more talking out when we're around his friends and things like that. But when he was younger, it was a lot harder. I think he's finally grown into feeling comfortable talking and all of that. So, but not every child out there wants to be the outgoing person, I joke, I said, if you know my children, the oldest is a little more outgoing like me. The youngest daughter, she's a little bit in between. She can be outgoing, but she's also kind of reserved and likes to take her time in before connecting with everyone. And then AJ was our what do you call it? He was our shy, quiet one who has to inspect everything first before he would open up. So, so he's outside. That's why I came inside. You get to actually see some of my decorations in here. Can you tell I like Christmas? I have lots of Christmas stuff and my nativity stuff over there and all my 25th anniversary and all those kind of things in there. So, oh, I'm sorry you didn't get to make it all the way through college. Now, AJ has opted not to do college. Which for him and personality-wise, that's fine. If he had wanted to go, we would have supported him and helped him do it. But I just don't think he wanted the extra stress of having deadlines for homework and all of that. So, and that's perfectly fine. Our particular family, we look at things as a quality over quantity mindset, that we want him to be happy, we want him to enjoy life, and if college would have been too stressful for him, then that's fine. But if he has the personality that would have loved to keep learning and doing that, like I know there are some great guys out there who have degrees and are working and all of that stuff. That's just not my son, But you know what? It's okay. That's why we're all unique and we're all individual people, right? So, so just be authentic, be proud of who you are, who's in your family, who's in your friends group and all of that. And if it includes somebody who doesn't who isn't able to walk and uses a wheelchair, then just think about, when you do go out, think about it being accessible, and can they do that also? And that goes a long way. So, but then that was his personality then. He must have wanted to try it. So at least he can say he did, right? AJ just never had any desire. Once he graduated high school, he was done, and that is perfectly fine in our family. So we're happy with that. We're okay with that, and I want you to view Duchenne as something that we can learn about, something that we want to strive to find a cure for, but something that we can embrace and not make those that are living with it feel any more isolated than they already are. So I appreciate those of my friends and family, whether you're on a Facebook friend and I've never met you in person, because we don't travel that much. We travel to and from our two homes, and that's it. Travel's hard on our son right now, and long drives probably wouldn't be the best for him right now. So but life hasn't stopped. Life is still possible out there. So let's just be inclusive. Let's I don't like using the word tolerate like that, but those are the words out there that everyone wants to feel acknowledged and appreciated and valued, right? So it doesn't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter if you're a boy, a girl, or in between. It doesn't matter if you're a churchgoer or not. It doesn't matter if you can walk or not. We are here today to make sure that everybody feels appreciated and acknowledged. And part of the fear out there is that you might not know something. So if you have questions about Duchenne, ask them. Do not be afraid to ask. You can even ask AJ, and he will answer as best as you can, as he can. But part of that means we have to have conversations, and that's what this page is all about. Conversations of support. It's about encouragement and support, and the fact that we're going to have a conversation. This isn't I'm telling you how to do things, and this is not a debate, and this is an opportunity for us to have a conversation about it. He talked like crazy around me or family and left us just yeah. Well, actually, AJ has a pretty funny sense of humor. He gets us all the time. I just wish more people would hear it. So, maybe when the world opens back up again, he'll be, a little more willing to share that humor with everybody. But he's not on Facebook. He used to be, and then he stopped. And so if people want to connect to AJ and need a way to do it through Facebook or whatever, you can connect with me, and I pass along all the messages. I'm usually his, maybe I'm considered his administrative assistant, because sometimes I help him coordinate his get-togethers with his friends, and that's perfectly fine. I enjoy encouraging their friendships. I enjoy helping them get together, So, today, I don't even know how many years it's been. Let's see. How many years? He was diagnosed in 2002, and it's 2020 now. Oh, he's coming back in again, dagnabbit. So he keeps, I didn't time this one very well, did I? So anyway, on that note, we're going to end it up today. We're going to finish up. It probably got a little too warm out there for him, and he's 18, and I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you are finding ways to enjoy some family time this weekend, because like I said, none of us are guaranteed any day. So tell those that are in your family or in your friend circle that you care about them, that they mean something to you, because we don't know if they're going to be here tomorrow, right? So, and I appreciate everybody who has been supportive of our family this week in the loss of my mother-in-law, and also with AJ and his journey with Duchenne. I may pop on tomorrow later in the day to see how everyone is doing, or maybe I'll do it later today as a pep talk for beginning school, because our county starts school tomorrow. So I think I might pop on later today, and we'll do that as a topic of support and encouragement, so that everybody can kick off a unique school year in the most positive way, helpful way that we can, right? So enjoy today. Thank you for jumping on, and I will see you all later. Okay, so remember, smile when you're wearing those face masks, and be nice to one another. All right, so I will see you all tomorrow. So thank you, and I will talk to you later. Bye.